24 birds have been found dead on the waterfront in the town of Tonawanda. A viewer alerted us to this problem, saying they've never seen anything like this near Aqua Lane Park.
Birds were found dead earlier this week.
I've lived here my entire life. I've never seen something like this.
Turtles are washing up on Long Island beaches and they are dying. This die-off could threaten the turtle population in our area. It could also signal trouble for fish, shellfish, and the health of our bays.
In a rare die-off, some 100 diamondbacks have washed ashore from Peconic Bay to Flanders with no signs of trauma. Beachcomber sightings were first documented by Southold Local. Why are turtles dying in droves?
Something alarming washing up on the beach, and there was no injuries whatsoever on the bodies.
Also impacting food prices, the biggest outbreak of bird flu ever in the United States. The virus is ravaging poultry farms across the Middle West and starting to affect major food companies.
The worst outbreak of avian influenza to ever hit the U.S., with more than 33 million birds now affected across 16 states.
We haven't seen anything like this, certainly on the poultry side.
Honeybees are an essential part of American food production, but now they are dying off at an alarming rate. Nearly half of all colonies gone in the last year. That is a sharp increase from years past.
David Hackenberg has never seen so much blight in his half-century as a beekeeper.
Well, years ago, it was pretty easy to keep bees. Unfortunately, that's not the case anymore.
Summer is traditionally this great time, and bees should thrive. And here they're not. They're dying at a higher rate.
The exact cause of the growing die-offs is not known.
Impact of America's biggest offshore oil spill. It comes as officials are grappling with a new spill along the coast of Southern California near Santa Barbara. It began yesterday when an onshore pipeline ruptured. Are the bottlenose dolphins still dying off, or was this a one-time phenomenon?
The deaths have occurred ever since the spill began all the way to the present day.
Following a mystery tonight in Seminole County, hundreds of fish turned up dead overnight in one popular lake.
And tonight, residents of the Sweetwater Oaks community in Longwood are shocked and demanding answers.
It's a sight that has many neighbors in shock. Scores of fish dead overnight.
I'm just flabbergasted. I just don't understand what's happened.
Sasha Sanchez discovered the fish killer around 7 a.m.
This just happened overnight?
Yes.
Just like that?
Just like that. This was not like this yesterday.
The catastrophe in Nepal could get worse, but it just did. The country was hit today by the second major earthquake in just over 2 weeks, this time a magnitude 7.3.
Today's quake triggered this landslide, captured on video by Canadian Red Cross.
Strong tremors continue this morning. A BBC reporter that witnessed both the quakes said this morning's tremor went for a much longer time than the one that occurred last April.
This quake caused panic in Nepal's parliament as a lawmaker was speaking. People ran for the exits. It comes less than 3 weeks after a 7.8 magnitude quake killed more than 8,000 people.
When that earth started shaking again, he described scenes of people running out, panicking, screaming, "Earthquake, earthquake, another earthquake." He described things that were still standing, looking as though they were going to collapse, but said some regions had been hit so hard that there was simply nothing left to collapse.
Turning to Japan, where an earthquake hit northeast of the country early on Wednesday, rocking the area devastated in an earthquake and tsunami 4 years ago.
Well, the quake struck Kent just before 3 this morning, with the magnitude measuring 4.2 on the Richter scale. It's been confirmed that the epicenter of it was near to this town. Many people who live here have told me it woke them up from their sleep, along with thousands of others across the county.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Frank Somerville.
And I'm Julie Hayner. It's not a huge quake, but plenty of people felt it tonight, most of them in the North Bay, San Francisco, or Oakland. The quake hit at 7:53. It was centered 9 miles north of Napa.
Breaking news now. Listen to this now. An earthquake rattled Las Vegas.
Parts of northern Arizona and Las Vegas getting a jolt today after a 4.8 magnitude earthquake. It struck near Caliente, Nevada, which is about 35 miles from the Utah border.
It caused some damage around the valley. The 4.8 magnitude hit just before noon outside Caliente, which is about 100 miles from Las Vegas.
The biggest damage felt in the valley was the closure of southbound US 95, where it meets southbound I-15 after a large crack was found, which lasted several hours.
We're going to turn now to the 50 million bracing for severe storms coming tonight from Texas all the way up to Michigan. The tornado outbreak deadly already, at least 5 dead.
I lived in Cisco for over 10 years now, and I haven't seen anything like this.
I don't know that I've seen this kind of damage in Nashville since I've been in the department here for over 17 years.
Deadly storms have pounded Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas for days.
This mesocyclone and potential tornado spinning right overhead. Whoa!
All right. More very dangerous storms ripping through communities in the Midwest overnight. Down in Texas, record rainfall and lightning sparking fires. And as we head into the weekend, forecasters are predicting even more wild weather.
A storm shelter designed to save lives ripped from the ground. Tornado.
This one means business.
After tornado.
Oh my gosh.
Lightning sparking fires.
Oh my God, a fire.
And bringing torrential rainfall. And after all that, a 4.0 earthquake striking 30 miles southwest of Dallas. Oklahoma City issuing its first flash flood emergency ever. A new daily rainfall record of just over 7 inches. Officials now say it is the worst natural disaster in the state's history.
For many Oklahoma neighborhoods, storm cleanup is in high gear. A view from Sky 5 shows the wrath of Wednesday's tornado, completely ripping off the back half of the building, church debris strewn everywhere. The sanctuary, however, untouched.
Dramatic video shows clouds of gas billowing 9 miles into the atmosphere, creating an amazing display of lightning.
Nor can we ignore the social, political, and juridical changes taking place in our country. Changes taking place at a pace over this past year that no one anticipated. Not to mention the impending U.S. Supreme Court decision on gay marriage. We must deal with the world as it is, not as we might wish it would be.
Local parents react tonight to news that the president of the Boy Scouts of America is calling for an end to that organization's ban on gay troop leaders.
That scouting president is Robert Gates, the nation's former Secretary of Defense.
Scout mom Mary Donovan says if anything, today is a reflection of changing times. It's an about-face that some didn't see coming, but one that many are embracing.
A new study out today by the Pew Research Center shows in the past 7 years, the number of Americans saying they're Christian has gone down by nearly 8%.
In 2007, more than 78% of Americans said that they identified with some sort of Christianity. Well, today, that number is down to 70%.
It sounds like science fiction, placing a microchip under the skin to get you in your door, to start your car, or maybe give your doctor your medical history.
Or what if your child were to disappear? Would you be willing to place a chip in your child if it might help them bring them home? And that technology was no bigger than a grain of rice. Right now, the technology to track a microchip with GPS isn't available, at least not available to the public.
If the devil's gonna take a vacation somewhere, it might as well be Los Angeles.
What he gets his kicks out of is encouraging people to do the things that they're not supposed to do. Most people are just immediately drawn to him. He has this kind of magnetism. People start confessing their deepest, darkest thoughts. It feels good to get away with something, doesn't it?
We know that it's an incomplete theory.
The mystery of dark matter.
To access the other parts of the puzzle.
This is not like other ordinary particles. It really is we're reaching into the fabric of the universe at a level we've never done before. This is telling us something, it's a key to the structure of the universe. Or maybe we open up a whole new realm of discovery.
A Texas family that tragically lost loved ones in a tornado found something in the wreckage that gave them a little more faith. They were killed in the tornado that hit Van on Sunday, and when family members searched through the wreckage yesterday, they found the family Bible lying in the rubble. It was open to a verse that talked about enduring faith in the wake of struggles. It reads in part, "My brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of any kind, consider it nothing but joy, because you know that the testing of your faith produces endurance, and let endurance have its full effect, so that you may be mature and complete, lacking in nothing."
Kids in Pasadena had a very unique way of dealing with a school bully. They turned to the Bible.
I said, man, what if I don't want to have to take my shirt off and meet him at the bus stop? You know what I mean? Let's get this kid a Bible, you know, tell him Jesus loves him.
We gave it to him, and then, like, 2 minutes later, when it was almost his stop to get off, he just said, thank you and sorry for all the bad stuff we did to you.